This is Jay with Sugar Hill. Dig this funky intro, man. Alright, good morning, everybody. This is Jay with Sugar Hill. I was just gonna want to fill y'all in a little bit about myself here. We're starting a new channel. I hope that y'all enjoy watching it as much as maybe we enjoy making it. So, first of all, in case you hadn't noticed the southern accent, I'm from Alabama. Not everybody from Alabama has a southern accent. Not all southern accents are from Alabama, but this one is. We're gonna do a few things. It's gonna be kind of cool. I work in the cotton gin business, so I'm on the road a decent little amount all the time, and we get to see some cool and neat stuff from time to time, and I'll try to expose y'all to some of that kind of that world a little bit. I do a few little things at home, and maybe it'd be something that y'all are interested in watching. I hope so. So we're gonna have some fun, I believe. Keep everything, on a respectable level. This channel's, with what do they call it, COPPA or COPPA now, regulating YouTube regulating. Anyway, we're gonna see how that works out a little bit for us too. We're not gonna gear this channel for children, because there's some of the things that we do on here that children really shouldn't do, especially unsupervised. Like doing a little hunting or doing some burning and stuff like that. But we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna ride up and down the road a little while, and I'm sitting in here waiting for my windows to unfreeze, for the defroster to defrost my windows. So I figured I'd go ahead and do this while I was waiting for that to happen. But we're in Gadsden right now. Been working on the gin past day or two over here, and so we're gonna hit the road a little bit, head back through Birmingham, Montgomery, and I think I'm gonna have to go over to Georgia today. So we'll do that and get there. We'll show y'all a few things, show you some of the equipment and stuff that goes on at a cotton gin, and at the same time we'll do other stuff that maybe hopefully y'all be interested in as well. All right, we'll be back. I've got lock in my hubcaps. Got a little bit of rain last night. It's all muddy. That is a cotton gin door lock.
the bathroom. The only thing that is protecting you from a potentially embarrassing situation is one little old piece of wire.
Got a bunch of rounds left to run. I imagine that's all they got left is rounds. Little round modules are made by the picker as it's picking. Don't even have to stop. Just dumps it right out the back like a turtle head poking out. More round mod. Still got a good ways to go. I guarantee you this is going to the gin that I'm going to. There's seven round rolls on that one, and up in front of him there's another truck with 7 more. Ah, you can see it. This machine's been a pain in my butt. Not only is it cold, 41 degrees, flood. It's always rain coming about. It was nice and sunny and beautiful yesterday. It does sure raining today. And them cotton rolls in here. Alright, I gotta tell y'all a little something that happened to me this week. I was at a fast food restaurant, and I don't even say where it is. I was in a fast food restaurant. It's one of those little restaurants that has a little foyer right there. You know, where you walk through the door, then you're in a little foyer, and you gotta walk through another door to actually get into the restaurant. Excuse me. Well, I was in there eating, and it was after lunch, actually. It wasn't during lunch. It was actually after lunch. And we were sitting there, and it was in the restaurant eating. It was just me by myself, and there was probably 10 or 12 other people in there. And they were all elderly people. All of them were older people. Well, we're sitting there, and about the time I get done, and about the time everybody else is kind of getting done too, the little manager or assistant manager or whatever he was comes out and asks us to, if we're done, to please go ahead and leave because there's been a plumbing incident. Well, what kind of plumbing incident is so bad that you've got to ask people to leave your restaurant? I don't know. But what he does is he asks us to leave, and of course we get up and we all start dumping our garbage into the trash can and putting our plates and stuff in there and all that crap. And we get out into the little foyer there, and what the guy has forgotten about is, in his haste to keep other people out so nobody else can come in, he's gone and locked the doors. Now, all of us are packed in this little foyer. And there are, look at that cat behind me. Cat thinks he owns this truck. Cat! He ain't scared nothing. You let me open this door, you'll run though. But anyway, we're all out there in the foyer waiting, you know, try to get out. Well, we don't realize that the door is locked until we get out there and there's this old lady. She's sitting there trying to push the door open, you know. So here comes the guy, the little manager. He finally realizes, hey, I have locked the door and they can't get out. So he's coming over there, and I'm packed in there with all these elderly people. And in the group, I'm the baby of the group. Okay, I'm almost 50 years old, and I'm the baby of the group. So he can't get back there because elderly people, and this ain't no knock on elderly people, I love y'all, but elderly people, they can go fine and forward. But don't ask them to back up. You ask them to back up, you might as well be trying to split the atom or something. I mean, you just can't, it just ain't happening real fast. So he's got the key, and it's one of those you got to unlock it with the key. So he's got the key, and he passes the key through the crowd like a beach ball at a baseball game. You know, you kick that beach ball all over the place. Well, that's kind of the way the key was. The key was going from hand to hand to hand to hand. And bless her heart, the poor lady that's right there at the door, she's got bad arthritis in her hands, and you can tell by her hand. And she grabs the key and she drops it 3 or 4 times, and even if she gets it in the lock, she's not going to be able to unlock it. So finally, the little guy, the little assistant manager or manager or whoever he was a smaller guy, and he was able to kind of weave his way through the elderly people. And here I am right in the middle of them. I can't go forward, I can't go back, I can't reach the door. So he's kind of worming his way through there, through canes and little walkers and these little scooters and all this stuff. He's trying to weave his way through all this stuff. And he finally does. He finally opens the door. And we're all starting to head out. Well, you got all these canes and walkers and stuff like that, and you got all these elderly people on there, in there, and you know, they ain't the swiftest in the world anyway, so they're trying to ease through the door one at a time, you know. And the whole time there's a plumbing incident going on back here that we don't know anything about. We don't know what it is. I still don't know what it is. So we're trying to get out of here before this plumbing incident catches up with us. And the poor older people, they're trying to get through the door as fast as they can, not forgetting the fact that, you know, something's going on behind us here too. So we finally get out, and I noticed that every handicap parking space in the parking lot is full. So we're trying to get out, and they're going to all these handicap parking spaces, and the people behind the counter, they're just standing there behind the counter watching us. They weren't laughing at us or anything, just kind of watching us, wondering why aren't they leaving? Well, we can't get out. So we got locked up in the restaurant there for a while. You'd be amazed at all the crazy crap that happens in different places. I've got all kinds of crap I'll tell y'all about later on, but that was funny once you got out of it, you know, because we didn't know, you know, is there going to be a toilet explode and take off half the building or what? I mean, we didn't know. Oh, me. But I wanted to share that with you. That's the freshest thing on my mind, and that was the that's the newest one that happened. I thought that was fun. I want y'all to look at that big old cheeseburger. I've had cheeseburgers before, but that's a big old son of a gun right here. That thing will choke a goat. Still in the parade. They ain't even made it to the Possum Queen yet. They gotta get the Possum Queen up here. Gotta get her in her car. She's riding the old Volkswagen Beetle. I know she's, you know, all these pretty girls, they sitting in the back of these Corvettes and all these Camaros and everything. When the Possum Queen's coming, she's riding in a Volkswagen Beetle. But that's how you know when the parade's over, is when the Possum Queen comes through here. I don't know if y'all can see this, Probably bad video. I just left a gin. Coming back through town, and I'd be doggone if they ain't got the Christmas parade going. They got a darn Christmas parade that blocked up everything. Another reason not to like Christmas. It just sucks. And got everything blocked off and locked up. Look at the little cars. Doggone Christmas parade. So now we got, I sure hope they don't expect me to just sit here through the whole parade. They better have that lady right here is twirling fire. I wish I could get closer. I'd show y'all something. Look at here. Listen. At least the band's working. Dang old Christmas parade. A parade. Dang. Maybe I'd get out here before midnight. I know the footage ain't very good, but I sure hope nobody needs a police officer or a firefighter or anything right close by, because they're gonna be hard pressed to get anybody, because this place, every one of them is right here in this parade. And the bad thing is we got the green light. This is the same parade that I was a part of a few years ago. Right here at this intersection, I was turning down, and I didn't know they had the parade, and they didn't have no police right here at the intersection right here, and I didn't know there was a parade going on, so I turned right. Next thing I know, I'm in the parade. I didn't know it. People just waving at me and then looking at me like, oh, what's he doing in there? And I waved back, have a good time. But I stayed down there about a quarter of a mile in the parade, which at the rate that these people are going, that's a good half hour, 45 minutes. Yeah. This sucks. Okay, guys, this should be close to the end of the video that I want to post for this week. I want to explain some of the equipment that you saw in some of the videos, and some where on the videos that it gets real loud in. All those are inside of a cotton gin. Like I said, right now it's during gin season. Everything's very, very busy. Everything's very hectic. So, I mean, right now, everything's running, everything's moving, so that's why it's so loud in there. The two videos where you see the bales kicking out, the cotton bales kicking out, those bales weigh about 500 pounds. They take those modules that you see in the fields, and they clean it, and they bust them up and they clean them, and they take moisture out. They put the right kind of moisture back in, or the right amount of moisture back in. They separate the seed from the cotton boll itself, and it then they take it and they shoot it over there to a battery condenser, and takes all the dust and dirt and all that grungy stuff out, and it layers it down, runs it down what's called a lint slide. Now that lint slide comes down, that battery condenser spits that cotton out in sheets, and when it comes out, it goes into a tramper, and that's that thing you see going down and back up and down and back up. That's a tramper. What it does is it'll lay it down there in sheets, and it'll lay it kind of like a ribbon on top of each other. You take a ribbon and you can press it down on each other. That's kind of what it looks like. It's kind of what it is. And it'll sit there and tramp it and tramp it and tramp it. It's called the charge box. It'll charge it back down in there, and once it reaches about 500 pounds, it'll stop, close the lint slide, and you got two boxes on there. And what it does is it'll rotate, and the empty box will come over there to where the tramper is, and it'll start feeding the next
that box full of cotton, and the other one will compress the bale. You'll see that strapping machine come up, put 6 plastic straps on there, and when it pulls back, you've got a 500-pound bale. Then it goes up into up on a conveyor chain, and it either gets manually bagged or there's some automatic baggers out there, and it goes through that. Then it gets picked up, and it has a bag on it. It's got a label on it. It's got a tag on it, and it's sealed. And it goes out there and put it in the warehouse, and it sits there and waits to be sold. Sometimes they'll sell it to textile mills here in the States, which are kind of few and far between now. That, you know, textiles here in the States has kind of gone away. I mean, other countries have kind of beat our butt a little bit. So we a lot of them gets sold overseas, to be honest with you. A lot of them goes to China, Turkey, Egypt. A lot of them goes to textile mills overseas. But as long as it can get sold, that's the important thing, I guess, for a cotton gin. It's not very good for textile jobs here in the States, but as long as it kind of gets sold, I guess that's a really important thing for, like I said, for a cotton gin. As there's more interest involved later on, I kind of go through and be a little bit more specific about some of the equipment that's in a cotton gin, and we'll kind of go from there. If you like it, you like the video, want to see more of them, please subscribe. Hit that little bell in the corner, lets you know whenever I post a new video. Like the video, like I said, subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Hopefully I can do one a week. That's my goal. If it gets to where I can do more than one a week, then we'll do that. But that's kind of where we stand right now. It's the first video. Tell me what you think. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching.